So you mentioned before about when you're building your budget to divide it or to figure out what your needs and wants are. What are some concrete ways that people can really figure out what is a need and what is a want, and how can you kind of stretch your money to be able to fit everything in?
Well, you can determine what is a need basically by asking yourself, can I do without it? We all know we need shelter, whether it's a mortgage or rent expense. If we have a car, we need it to be insured. So if you have a car note and car insurance, you need to get back and forth to work. Therefore, you know that's a necessity in your life. And if it's a want, it's something you can do without or something you can put off for the future where your budget would allow you to purchase it. So if it's something as simple as going on a vacation, you may want to put that off to winter opposed to summer and just adjust your budget. And if you want to fit it in, chances are you can adjust your budget from month to month. If you can't do it this month, if you save enough this month opposed to spending, you may be able to do it a month or so down the line.
Mm-hmm.
I would just like to add to that, Leanne, because I think it's a matter of changing our internal dialogues. How often do we hear or do we say ourselves, oh, I really need that new pair of shoes, or oh, I really need that, we all have our areas of vulnerability.
Right.
And what we're really talking about in that situation is the need to fulfill some kind of internal craving or some kind of impulse or compulsion, in some cases even a compulsion to go out and spend money. That's not a need. That is a want. In some cases, in extreme cases, it's an addiction, like any other kind of compulsive disorder, if you will, that creates the same problems associated with even substance addiction. I think it's really important for people to become clear on where they fall along that spectrum of how they even think about what really constitutes need. And to begin that also, one can begin by just monitoring one's own internal dialogue and really calling ourselves on the difference between need and want.
Right. So talking about money and, if you don't have it, if something is more expensive, is this a good time to borrow this money to, apply for loans?
I would say no, because credit and loans are basically money to purchase items. If you can't afford it now, chances are you may not be able to afford the loan, because the costs associated with loans are fees as well as interest. So if you can't afford the item now, you may want to hold off until you're able to save money to buy it cash, because it's not going to get less expensive. It's only going to get more expensive with the fees and the interest.
So in the long run, it may end up costing you more.
Yes.
Okay. So what does all this mean, Dr. Smith, really? Trying to balance all of this, what should one kind of take with them and know about kind of managing your mind and your mindset to be able to manage your money correctly?
Right. Well, good question, Leanne. And actually, before I answer that, I want to just acknowledge Mayor Slesnick and the City of Coral Gables and their willingness to take these topics on. I think that's a really great thing that you all have done, and to begin a dialogue or encourage people to engage in their own, modifying their own self-dialogue is really a huge thing to be doing right now. And in terms of creating that balance, it really does take being bold-faced honest with oneself, having those conversations with yourself in the mirror and saying, what is really motivating me internally that has caused me to make the decisions I've made, the financial, in this case, decisions I've made that have been, if not on one end of the spectrum, unwise decisions, all the way through to possibly even dangerous or risky financial decisions. And it really starts with the willingness to be very, very brutally honest with oneself. And out of that understanding can then come the behavior changes coupled with the tools that are being offered here to be able to affect long-lasting change. If we don't, we're destined to repeat what we've already done.
Right. And Maisa, what are some of the ways that people can go about improving their financial literacy and get the tools and the know-how that they need to be able to go into, a deal or start a budget and know everything that they need to know to be able to go through one successfully?
They can either contact a local nonprofit agency such as HSC with the Prosperity Campaign, and ask to be a part of a financial literacy session. They can also speak to credit counselors from nonprofit organizations as well as their local banks.
Okay. Well, great. Thank you so much, Maisa Williams and Dr. Rosalind Smith, for joining us in this segment. And then when we come back, we're going to have another guest that'll talk to us more about our money saving strategies and different things that we can do to survive well in this economy. So don't go away. We'll be right back.